Good morning, children. We move on to our next lesson, the Kite Festival. Now, this lesson is on page 62. Yes, lesson number 3.2, Kite Festival. So, let's read the lesson. Now, this lesson is all about the Kite Festival. It tells you how the Kite Festival began, how it is celebrated in different parts of India, as well as all over the world, the types of kites that are used, and all the information related to the kite and the kite festival. So let's start. I hope you'll have your pencils in your hand. Years ago, the harassed mother would often say to her restless son, who needed to be kept busy during his holidays, "Why don't you go fly a kite?" Now, here, harassed mother would be someone who's really troubled because in olden days, uh, they really didn't have a television or they didn't have any form of entertainment. So the children were generally always with their mothers. So if they didn't have anything to do, so that's when they would really, really trouble their mothers, and that's why they are saying harassed mothers. And the little boy would happily pick up his kite and run out into the field. So, what option the mother would give the child is to go and fly a kite. Because when you're flying a kite, you're busy trying to make your kite fly higher and higher and trying to compete with others. So, you're busy, you really don't need any other distraction. So, the mother is free for some time. That, of course, was in the past when the only kites available were made of kite paper and thin wooden frames. Kite flying has come a long way since then. Come a long way means has changed, has developed, has progressed, has changed for the better. Yes, with the inventions of motorized and even fiberglass kites to compete with the old fashioned kites. So nowadays, the kites that are being made are fitted with motors so that they can fly higher. And the reason they're fitted with motors is because it's not just a kite made of plain light paper and wood. It's generally so nowadays kites are very very huge kites which are come in different parts, many sections, maybe kites with very very long tails. So they are heavy to fly. They cannot just depend on the wind to take them higher. So they need a motor. Yes. Now some of them, to make it reduce the weight, are made of fiberglass. It's very very light. Today, kite flyers can be found in different parts of the world, carrying different types of kites, waiting for the right winds. Kite flying has a long history. There are many Greek, Indian, and other mythological stories which tells us about human beings wanting to or trying to fly. Now, Greek are stories from Greece, Indian are stories from India, and mythological are stories which are being told from generations but are not really true because they are impossible to be true. Yes, like for example, if you see, I don't know whether you have watched Harry Potter. Now, if you see in the Harry Potter series, in one of the stories, you have a man, but he doesn't have legs. Instead of legs, he has the body of a horse. Yes. So, is that possible? A man up till his waist, and below that he is a horse. So instead of the horse's head, it is a man's body. So such things are not real, but still there are many stories being told about them. Like you hear of witches, you hear of fairies. These are not really real. Over a period of time, this desire of humans and their imagination probably led to the invention of kites. So most probably this desire, this want, a desire means to want, to fly, made them invent the kites. Thinking of something at least should fly, so they invented the kites. And it is likely that the box kites, designed more than 100 years ago, later inspired others to create power driven aeroplanes. So, what they're saying is it's most probably possible that they had made box kites. Yes, and this box kite had a definite figure, a definite shape, and this was able to fly. Looking at that, they thought of something else with a more definite shape, which could take people in that, and that's what they invented the aeroplanes. In India, however, the tradition of kite flying has not changed, be it during the coming of spring, which is celebrated as Basant, or during the festival of Makar Sankranti. People of all ages go out into the open to try their luck with their kites. In towns and cities where open spaces are difficult to find, terraces and rooftops are often used for this traditional sport. So, in the villages, you have lots of open spaces, but in the cities where there is less open space, you find people flying kites from the terraces and the roofs. In Gujarat, Makar Sankranti is Kite Flying Day, traditionally celebrated on January 13th or 14th. It is a holiday when people meet outdoors to cut each other's kites. This day also coincide means occurs at the same time along with had two things happening at the same time. With the festival of Uttarayan, when the sun is set to begin its journey to the northern hemisphere, the people of Gujarat celebrate Uttarayan with a lot of enthusiasm, and all business comes to a grinding halt. What is grinding halt mean? Absolutely nothing is done. I mean, not action as such. No business is done at all. Okay, you will not have find the cloth shops open. You won't find the other shops open. Everything will be closed because everyone wants to enjoy the kite festival. It is also a celebration to mark the end of winter. The kite flying begins at dawn. Dawn means early morning when you can hardly see the sun rising. Okay, not the full sun, it's just beginning to rise. That's called dawn. And continues without a pause. Pause means even a short break. There's not even a short break. You will find someone or the other flying a kite or enjoying themselves, enjoying the kite festival throughout the day. People of all ages gather on terraces or rooftops. Friends, neighbors, even total strangers compete with each other, and cries of triumph rend the air. Triumph means victory. Rend means pierce or tear. You can hear these sounds like ye toot gaya, ye cut gaya, whatever throughout the day. When someone cuts the lines of a rival, rival means your whom you're competing with. A wonderful variety of kites is seen, and the fussy buyer can choose what he wants. Fussy means someone who makes a lot of, who's very picky, who's very choosy. He will not just take anything and everything. He will think and choose maybe the color of the kite, the size of the kite, the material of the kite, the cost of the kite. Everything he will see. The more serious players prepare special lines for their kites. Lines is the manja, what you call, okay, the thread. There is music in the air, and traditional delicacies are specially prepared for the day. Traditional delicacies would be like sweets prepared specially on this day, the day of Kite Festival. Held on the same day, the bigger event, however, is the International Kite Festival at Ahmedabad. Organized by the Gujarat State Tourism Corporation, it is held either at the Sardar Patel Stadium or the Police Stadium. This popular festival attracts international kite flyers who demonstrate their skills in flying exotic kites and local champions as well. Now, what do you mean by exotic? Something that is not common in the place where you are living, but maybe common somewhere else. Like if you talk of an exotic fruit, if you think of a kiwi, you think of a dragon fruit, all you think of a parmesan. These none of these are really grown in India. These are all grown abroad and imported to India, and we eat it. So you don't really get it all the time. Plus, you have to pay more for it. It's something that's not available freely. Yes, so it's exotic for us. Whereas if you look at the uh, jackfruit, which is something very common for us in India because it grows here. Whereas if you go to America, the jackfruit is an exotic fruit for them because jackfruits don't grow in America. Yes, so they import the jackfruits, and for them it's something different, something unique. So it's an exotic fruit for them. So exotic basically means it's something that's not easily available, which doesn't belong to you locally. It's not grown uh, in your area, in your country, in your city. You bring it from somewhere out, far away. Okay. Um, Little Indian paper kites compete with those from Japan, USA, UK, and other countries. Now, see, please note I didn't say Japan, okay? I said Japan. Japan. Excited spectators watch in awe. Awe means wonder, excitement, you can say amazement, whatever you feel like you're just awestruck by something. Okay, you're taken up by it. As marvelous shapes such as eagles and snakes soar into the sky. So the kites are made in the shapes of eagles and even snakes with different birds, etc. Okay, so means fly high. One of the highlights of this festival is the Patang or Kite Bazaar in the heart of Ahmedabad, which is open 24 hours a day. Okay, I did not say Kite Bazaar because Bazaar is a Hindi word. I said Kite Bazaar. Okay, for a whole week. So you have this kite bazaar and the kite festival held in the heart of Ahmedabad for a whole week, and it's 24 hours, so it's not closed even for a minute in the whole day. It's open even at night, and in fact, the whole night through. A visit to this bazaar in the middle of the night is enough to prove that the entire city is obsessed with kites. Obsessed means you think of nothing else but kites. For this whole week, they will maybe not even cook. They may just be eating the ready-made stuff that's available in this little market where you have the kites. So in this in this ground where you have your kite festival. Okay, and you obsessed means you're really not thinking of anything else. You say ना सोता जागता वही एक सोचता रहता है. So it's just like that, where you the throughout the day, whatever you are doing, whatever you're thinking, everything you're thinking of only that one particular thing. I'll give you an example. People are very obsessed with some particular film star. Like some like Hrithik Roshan, some like Shah Rukh Khan, some like Amir Khan, whoever you all may like, Salman Khan. Some people, okay, you like them as a hero or an actor, okay, fine. It's normal to like someone or appreciate someone for their acting skills or whatever they're good at. But if this goes overboard, like the moment you get up, the first thing you should see is Salman Khan's photo in front of you, or you open your cupboard and you see Salman Khan's photo, or you'll be buying only being human clothes, you'll be dressing like him, talking like him, walking like him, trying to imitate everything, maybe his hairstyle, his walk, uh, everything you'll be trying to imitate him. You'll be following him, everything, whatever he does. Everything that he does, you'll be following him day in and day out. The only thing in your mind, any time of the day, would be your hero or the actor that you are fond of. Yes, maybe collecting his pictures. You open any of your books, you find your hero's pictures over there, and you'll be watching each and every movie not once but maybe 10 or 15 times, some even 50 times. Such people are obsessed with that hero. They can think of nobody or nothing else to do but just think about him, walk like him, talk about him, and sometimes you really get fed up because you go to talk to them about anything else, but they are going to ultimately come back to their hero or heroine, to the topic of their hero or heroine. Okay, so such people are called obsessed. So here, when they're obsessed with kites, means they think about nothing else, they do nothing else but just play with the kites. People crowd the streets and buy their stocks, haggling throughout through the night. Haggling means bargaining, arguing about the price. Okay, like it happens very often. I don't know whether your mamas do it, but then it's Indian mentality to not to pay the price that's asked. You just assume that whatever is asked is double the cost, and you're going to get it for less than half the cost. So when you go to the market, even if you see vegetables, if it's 50 rupees, you will tell them, I'm going to give you only 40. I'm taking a kilo. Come on, I'm giving you taking more. Okay, you should reduce the cost. So you are arguing with the person about the cost of the thing that you want to buy. So here they will be arguing about the cost of the kites. Skilled craftsmen demonstrate age-old kite making skills and how to prepare the special thread used for kite flying, that is called the manja. Yes, the thread. Mixtures of glue and ground glass cover the lines, which are dried and rolled into reels known as firkis. So this thread is not just a simple thread. You have ground or powdered glass and gum, which is rubbed onto this thread, making it absolutely sharp as if it was a knife. And that's why you see after the kite festival, you very often you read articles on people being injured or cut because of the thread. Manja, birds being injured, animals being injured. Birds, the wings are cut, the legs are cut, the throats are cut, they die of the injury or they're bleeding because of the manja, because birds fly in the air. You find them in the air, and because the kite is in the sky, it harms the birds. Okay. These lines are so sharp. Yeah, when you're talking of lines, means the thread. Okay, that carelessly used, they can cut a finger. So I see. I just told you all, it's almost like a sharp knife. The excitement does not end with nightfall. Now it is time for illuminated box kites. Illuminated means lit up, brightly lit up, often strung on one line means attached to one line. One line, you find so many box kites attached to one long thread to be launched into the sky called tukals. They add a grand beauty to the dark sky and compete with the brilliance of the stars. So what he's saying? When you look at the sky at night, generally every day the only thing you find over there is the moon and the stars. You find nothing else there, and these are what brighten up the sky at night. Whereas during this festival time, you will find these box kites being released into the sky, and these lit up box sky, illuminated box skies, act as if they are little stars and brighten the sky as if they're competing, having a competition in the sky with the stars. Okay, so I hope the lesson was very easy. So you should be able to do your homework also easily. Okay, so do your lesson properly and please make it a point to read the lesson at least twice. So as soon as you close your video, open your book and read the lesson twice. Thank you.